Hello, welcome to everyone. My name is Christian Seiner, and in the first news of the week, we want to announce you an important negotiation closing between three very important powers: Germany, China, and United States. On the other line, I want to introduce you to Tisler Müller, who was the representative of Germany to close the deal, and he will talk us about his negotiation took place. So please, Tisler, go ahead.
Thank you very much for the space and the introduction, Christine. Let me explain this interesting negotiation. Well, first of all, we as Germany, we were demanding telecommunication devices, and we were able to provide medicaments and medicines for the other markets. And we, after an extensive analysis, we end up determining that our better alternatives were China and USA. But we end up closing a very interesting deal with China because of many advantages. First of all, let me tell you about the SOPA. Our SOPA, after the analysis, we determined that we need to sell over 200,000 units and slightly 1 million of units because of our range of our objective that was selling between 1% and 5% of our total exportations value. And we end up selling 850,000 units with a price of $73. Our average price was of $71, so we could negotiate to sell a price of $73, which was $1.25 higher than our average price. And we also closed a deal of buying 900,000 units of telecommunication devices. So we bought the telecommunication devices for a price of $116 per unit. Talking about our SOPA, we could cover the 81% of our range, so it was a very good deal. But after sharing the data of the demand of China and having in consideration that they are a huge market, they told us that they would be open to buy the 100% of our product. So we could have closed a better deal, and also because they were really attracted to our price of $73. Now, talking about the negotiation and how it was conducted, we think that it was really fluid. Also, we offered, based on our cultural analysis, a long-term relationship, which helped us to close the deal. And also, we offered really good advantages for their final beneficiaries, as they are a really collective culture. So maybe reflecting about the deal, we could lower the price of the telecommunication devices by some dollars because we had to push about the espionage insecurities and all those risks that we are concerned. But we end up having a really interesting deal, and also considering their BATNA, we offer quality and a long-term relationship, which gave us the advantage and the position of power to close the deal with them, because they were considering to look to other markets such as USA as well. And we also, as our BATNA, we could also go to USA, where actually we had a little negotiation with them for just some little amount of units just to have that relationship also. And as a conclusion, we consider that this negotiation was favorable and really interesting for learning, and in the future we will close better deals. Thank you very much.
I thank you very much for the explanation, Tisner. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you in the other line. In the same way, I want to introduce you to the representative of China who will also talk us about how the negotiation with the United States was. So please, go ahead, Thomas Wagner.
Yeah, thank you, Christine. So, well, thanks for having me. I mean, it's always a challenge when you go into this kind of business and deals with big countries like the United States or China. I mean, it's always very challenging. And one of the challenges that we faced is that we have already made a deal with China, a two-way deal, actually. So we didn't need to make this deal with the United States. But we have had a very good relationship through the years, and they are, of course, a very important country for us. So we wanted to make a deal, even though it was a very small deal. Well, it wasn't actually small, but compared to the one we did with China, it was smaller. So we still wanted to make this deal because we wanted to show them that we are still looking for this relationship to stay and to grow, right? So the deal turned out fine for us. I mean, we were looking to buy at least 4,000 units, and our limit price was 120 US dollars. And when the negotiations started, I mean, I thought that it was going to be challenging to negotiate with the United States because they're just like sharks, you know? But they actually offered the better price without us having to negotiate that. I mean, they offered 5,000 units in 110 US dollars each one. So we were just amazed, and we just couldn't say no to that kind of deal. So we take it. When we took it, I mean, it was something more of a symbolic deal because we could have asked them for a lot more units for that price. And I think that's when they lost their advantage. I mean, they were giving very few units for a very low cost. So they were just going to lose. I mean, they were like the losers in the deal, right? But still, I mean, they wanted to sell at least for 4,000 units, and they got it at whatever price. So if you look at it at a bigger perspective, it was a win-win for both of us. So we just can continue with this relationship. I mean, we showed them that we care about them, and they sold what they needed. So it was a very good deal for both parts. But we actually had to be very careful because, I mean, you know, cultural things, we had to be very careful with the way we managed those deals, right? Because we couldn't say no to the US because they would have felt that we rejected them, and that probably can be misunderstood that we don't want our relationship to keep going. And on the other side, if the Chinese find out that we're making big deals after we have already talked to them, they would have misunderstood it and they would have ended the deal. So I think we managed it fine, and we can still make negotiations with China, negotiations with the US, and still get our way. But in the end, it's all business and it's all a win-win for both parties. So thank you very much.
And finally, I really appreciate the presence of both representatives and that you took the time to explain us how the negotiation took place. And, well, in the same way, the authorities inform us that the negotiation with China will be formalized in the next weekends because of the interest and the demand for the same proposals. So, stay tuned for more news here in Deutsche Welle News.